Build optimization is super important in your CI/CD workflows because less time means faster feedback loops. So let's check a few build optimization strategies that you can use inside your semaphore workflows. Now, one of the bottlenecks in our CI/CD workflows is definitely dependency installation. So it takes some time to install dependencies, and basically what you want to do is you don't want to reinstall them all the time. So right here I have a simple workflow for a React-based project, and you can see that the build time was 1 minute and 26 seconds. And most of that time, if we check it out, was dependency installation. So basically with each commit, we don't want to reinstall these dependencies. So if they haven't changed, we want to somehow restore them from cache. And let's go into edit workflow mode to see how we can do that. So if we go into the front end block, we have a command called cache, and you can use the command cache store and cache restore to basically store any dependencies that you have for your project. So if you use the basic command cache store and cache restore, what's it going to do by default is check your project structure, and it will try to automatically detect which language you're using. Now, to see the list of supported frameworks, just check out our documentation. But for instance, for the NPM project that I have, it will automatically detect it and it will work magically. So let's check out how this works in action. Now I've updated some dependencies in my project so that you'll be able to see what the original workflow looks like. Now let's push these changes to our master branch and let's go to our activity. So you can see updated dependencies over here, and if we go inside, it's going to take a while to prepare the pipeline, but let's go into the build tab over here. So let's see what's going to happen to our front end. Now you can see that we tried to restore our dependencies over here and it was a hit. So we've basically restored the dependency and we've triggered npm install. And npm install just checked if there were any changes, and what happened is this workflow went through faster because we already had some dependencies installed. And this is how cache store, cache restore works. You can also use cache store and cache restore for any other files that you might need inside your workflow as well. Sometimes some of your jobs may inadvertently fail. And when that happens, all of your other jobs will still be running. For that, you can use the auto fail strategy. So we have this, if you click on your workflow builder flow, there's a tab called fail fast. What happens when a job fails? And you can either stop all remaining jobs, cancel all pending jobs and wait for the ones that have started to finish, stop remaining jobs unless the job is running on the master branch, or run a custom fail fast strategy. You can check the documentation on how to set this up. So what I'm going to select here is stop all remaining jobs, and I already have a job prepared that's going to fail so that we can see how this looks like in action. Basically, with this, what you can do is optimize your CI/CD runtime. So if one of your jobs fails, then you don't have to run the other jobs anymore, and you can basically cancel the whole workflow. Now, let's see how this looks like in action. Let's save this and see how the workflow is going to get triggered. Right here, you can see that once my preparedb job failed, both of the other jobs were canceled as well, saving me resources. And this is how the fail fast strategy works. So make sure you check out the docs for that. If you want, you can set up an auto cancel policy inside your CI/CD workflow, which basically means if you have a lot of commits that are going to the same branch and they are all running at the same time, basically you can only run the latest commit. So if you want to set this up, you can just click on your pipeline in the workflow editor, and here you can set up the auto cancel policy. So you can just either cancel all pipelines, both running and queued, cancel only queued pipelines on the master branch, cancel only queued pipelines on others, cancel both running and queued, or you can also set up a custom auto cancel strategy. You can check the documentation for that. But what we can do is, let's say, cancel all pipelines, both running and queued, and then if you want, you can just save this and set it up. Now let's have a look at how this actually looks like. Now I've saved the workflow with the auto cancel policy, and you can see that it's still running. I have something prepared over here, a simple commit, and I'm going to push it to see how the auto cancel strategy works. Now let's go back to the project and see what's going to happen. So let's click on the main branch over here, and you can see that there's a pending pipeline, and this pipeline actually now stopped. And this is how auto cancel works. With this you can optimize all of your commits. So instead of running, I don't know, tests, you can just cancel all of the active commits that were before this one, and only the latest one will get triggered. Now make sure you check the docs out on how to set up custom auto cancel policies. Now, one of the changes I personally like the most is the change in command. You can use the change in command to check for file changes inside folders for a specific commit. For instance, I have a payment tests block over here, which has 4 jobs. And if there are no changes to the tests, why would we run this? You can go into the skip run conditions tab for this specific block, and you can use the change in command to check for changes inside tests. So if there are any changes, this block will run. Otherwise, these jobs will get skipped. Now you can also pick skip this block when conditions are met. I am choosing run this block when conditions are met. Now this is a really powerful command, and I have a scenario prepared over here. I'm going to commit changes to front end, and this block, once I run the workflow, should not get triggered. Now let's have a look at that. Okay, so let's trigger this commit. Let's commit this to our repo, and here we should soon see our pipeline getting triggered. So let's go into this and see what is happening to our workflow. Okay, so the workflow is getting triggered. Now let's see if the payment tests block is going to get triggered. You can see that it was skipped because there were no changes to the files. And change in is a really powerful command. So make sure you check the documentation out and use it in your workflows to optimize which jobs are going to get run. We've seen a few build optimization tricks that you can use inside your semaphore workflows, so make sure you try them out and check out the documentation. If you haven't, sign up and try us out.